Success is a word that society has wrapped up in shiny packaging and handed to us with a clear set of instructions. Graduate, get a high-paying job, buy a house, get married, and keep climbing the ladder. But let me ask you something, who wrote those instructions? Was it you? Did you ever stop to question if that version of success is what your soul truly craves? Or are you just playing a role in someone else's script? I want you to take a moment and imagine this. You wake up one day, years from now, and realize you've achieved everything society told you to chase. The big house, the fancy car, the respect of your peers. But something still feels off, doesn't it? That emptiness you feel is your soul whispering, this isn't my success. This isn't my story. You see, true success isn't about the trophy society places on the mantle of life. It's about how you feel when you look in the mirror. Are you proud of the person you see? Are you living a life that ignites your spirit? Or are you just checking off boxes on a list someone else made for you? I'll let you in on a little secret. The moment you stop chasing the world's definition of success, you free yourself to create your own. And when you do, you'll find that it's not about the money, the titles, or the applause. It's about the joy you feel when you're doing something you love. It's about the peace that comes from knowing you're living on your own terms. But breaking free isn't easy. Society will push back. People will tell you you're crazy, selfish, or unrealistic. They'll try to guilt you into staying on the well-trodden path because your courage to break away makes them uncomfortable. And that's okay. Let them be uncomfortable. You're not here to live their life, you're here to live yours. Start small. Ask yourself, what does success look like for me? Not for your parents, not for your friends, not for the world, but for you. Maybe it's building a small business that lets you spend more time with your family. Maybe it's traveling the world with nothing but a backpack and a dream. Maybe it's dedicating your life to art or music or helping others. Whatever it is, own it. Claim it. Let it become your North Star. Because at the end of the day, when the noise of the world fades away, you're the one who has to live with choices. Make sure they're yours. Define your own success, and you'll find that life becomes infinitely more beautiful, more fulfilling, and more real. So tear up society's script and write your own. Not with ink, but with passion. Not with fear, but with love. You deserve nothing less than a life that's authentically, unapologetically yours. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself why you believe what you believe? Why you follow certain rules, traditions, or routines without question? From the moment we're born, society begins to write our story for us. It tells us who to be, how to act, what to want, and even how to think. But let me tell you something, it's okay to question the script. In fact, you must. Most of us are walking around carrying the weight of beliefs and expectations that aren't even ours. Think about it. How many decisions in your life were made because someone told you, this is just how things are? Maybe it was a teacher, a parent, or a friend. Maybe it was the culture you grew up in. The truth is, we've been programmed since day one to fit into a system that doesn't always serve us. But what if I told you there's a better way? You see, life isn't about blindly following the map society hands you. It's about drawing your own. And the first step to doing that is questioning the beliefs you've been conditioned to accept. Ask yourself, why do I value what I value? Why do I pursue what I pursue? Why do I fear what I fear? When you dig deep enough, you'll start to see that many of these things were never truly yours to begin with. They were handed to you by others, often with good intentions, but that doesn't mean they're right for you. Take a closer look at your life. Maybe you've been told that stability is more important than happiness, so you've stayed in a job that drains your soul. Maybe you've been told that certain dreams are impractical, so you've buried them in the name of being realistic. Maybe you've been told what kind of person you should be, so you've spent years trying to mold yourself into someone else's idea of perfect. But here's the thing, the people who told you those things, they're not living your life. You are. And you owe it to yourself to live it authentically. When you begin to question cultural conditioning, you start to see the cracks in the system. You realize that many of the rules are just illusions, designed to keep you in line. And once you see the illusion, you can't unsee it. That's where your freedom begins. This isn't about rebellion for the sake of rebellion. It's about alignment. It's about stripping away the layers of societal expectations so you can find your truth. It's about living a life that feels right, not because someone else said so, but because you said so. So, I challenge you to take a closer look at the beliefs you hold dear. Are they truly yours, or are they hand-me-downs from a world that doesn't know your heart? break free from the conditioning, question everything. And in doing so, you'll find the one thing that matters most yourself. Take a deep breath. Feel it. That's life flowing through you, a gift from the planet we call home. Yet how often do we stop to honor it? We wake up, rush through our day, consume, discard, and repeat, forgetting that everything we have, our air, water, food, comes from the earth. But here's the hard truth: the planet doesn't need us. We need it. Somewhere along the way, we became disconnected. We started to see nature not as part of us, but as a resource to exploit. Forests became timber. Rivers became dumping grounds. Animals became commodities. And all the while, we told ourselves it was progress. But is it progress if it's leading us toward destruction? Think about it. We're the only species that poisons the very environment we need to survive. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the soil that grows our food, we're polluting them all in the name of convenience and profit. But at what cost? The earth is resilient, yes, but it's not invincible. And neither are we. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you truly connected with nature? Not just a walk in the park with your phone in hand, but a moment where you felt the grass under your feet, listened to the birds, and marveled at the beauty around you. That connection isn't just for show, it's a reminder of who we are. We're not separate from nature. We are nature. So what can we do? It starts with awareness. Understand that every choice you make has an impact. The food you eat, the products you buy, the energy you use, they all ripple outward. You don't have to be perfect, none of us are. But small changes matter. Choosing reusable over disposable. Supporting sustainable brands. Planting trees instead of cutting them down. And it's not just about what we do individually. It's about holding ourselves and those in power accountable. Governments, corporations, industries, they have the tools and resources to create massive change. But they won't unless we demand it. The earth is speaking to us, begging us to listen. The floods, the fires, the rising temperatures, they're not just random events, they're warnings. And we can't afford to ignore them anymore. But let me leave you with hope, because hope is powerful. The same species that created the problem can also solve it. We've built skyscrapers that touch the sky, explored the depths of the ocean, and even walked on the moon. Imagine what we could achieve if we put that same energy into healing the planet. The earth doesn't ask for much, just respect, care, and balance. And when we give that, it gives back tenfold. Cleaner air, healthier lives, and a future for generations to come. So the next time you step outside, take a moment to appreciate the world around you. Not as something separate, but as an extension of yourself. Protect it, nurture it, love it. Because in saving the earth, we're truly saving ourselves. Time is the most precious thing you have, and yet, we often treat it like it's something that will never run out. We take it for granted, as though it's an endless resource we can spend however we wish. But let me tell you something: time isn't waiting for anyone. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back. Think about it. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, yet some people use those hours to chase their dreams while others let them slip away, consumed by distractions, routines, and things that don't really matter. Time doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care about your circumstances. It just keeps moving, tick-tock, tick-tock. And that's the reality we all face. The clock is ticking, and you're either moving toward your goals or away from them. The question is, how do you spend your time? Are you spending it on things that will bring you fulfillment, or are you just passing time, waiting for life to happen to you? We live in a world full of distractions. We check our phones constantly, scroll through social media, and get caught up in the noise of other people's lives. But when we focus on all these things, we miss out on the precious moments right in front of us, the moments that could change everything. Time isn't something to be spent. It's something to be invested. When you spend time with purpose, when you use your hours to build something meaningful, that's when you start living. Time becomes your ally. Every moment you dedicate to your passion, to your growth, to your loved ones, becomes an investment in your future. And that's how you create a life that matters. But here's the harsh truth: time doesn't wait for anyone. Life doesn't pause for you to get ready. It's moving forward, and if you don't take control of your time, it will slip away, and one day you'll look back and wonder where it all went. So what can you do? First, acknowledge the value of time. Recognize that it's not something you can waste without consequence. Then, be intentional with how you spend it. Prioritize what truly matters. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to start working on your dreams, because the perfect moment doesn't exist. Every moment is the perfect moment. Get rid of the things that drain your time, those meaningless distractions that keep you from what really matters. Focus on your goals, your relationships, and your well-being. Learn to say no to the things that don't align with your purpose. Because here's the thing, you don't need more time. You just need to use the time you have more wisely. Every day is a gift, and you get to decide how you spend it. Spend it on the things that will lead you to where you want to be, and you'll find that time isn't your enemy, it's your most powerful tool. So stop waiting. Stop letting time slip through your fingers. The clock is ticking, and it's time for you to start living like you truly understand how valuable each second is. You don't have forever. Use your time wisely. You've probably heard it 1,000 times before, the world is changing. And if you don't adapt, you'll get left behind. It's true though. Change is constant, and it's happening faster than ever before. But here's the thing, change isn't just happening in the world around us. It's happening in the world within us. And if we don't learn to embrace that, we'll get stuck in a cycle of resistance, always trying to keep up with a version of ourselves that no longer fits. So many of us live our lives under the pressure of expectations. We feel like we have to follow the same path as everyone else: graduate, get a job, get married, buy a house. And for a while, that path feels safe, comfortable, and even predictable. But then one day we wake up and realize we're not happy. We've been chasing a version of success that wasn't ours to begin with. We've been living in the mold someone else created for us. And that's where the problem lies. We often get so caught up in the hustle, the grind, the must-dos that we forget the most important question: who are we really? It's only when we take a step back and really think about it that we begin to realize something profound: we have the power to change our own lives. But that power isn't about changing our circumstances or waiting for the right time. It's about changing the way we think. It's about shedding the limiting beliefs we've inherited from society, from our families, from our own fears. Change starts from within. It's about shifting the way we see ourselves in the world. It's about realizing that we're not bound by the past, by our mistakes, or by what others expect of us. You can reinvent yourself at any point in your life. You can choose a different path, follow a new dream, and become a person you're proud of. But here's the catch: change isn't always easy. It requires courage. It requires letting go of old habits, old relationships, old ideas that no longer serve us. It requires the willingness to fail and try again, to go through the discomfort of growth. And that's where most people get stuck. They're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of the discomfort that comes with change. But here's the truth: you will never grow if you don't face the discomfort of change. You will never live your best life if you don't get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Change isn't something to fear, it's something to embrace. It's the only way to evolve into the person you're meant to be. Every great achievement, every new beginning comes with a level of discomfort. It's what pushes you forward. So let go of the idea that you have to be a certain way. Let go of the pressures, the expectations, and the fears that have held you back for too long. Start being the person you were always meant to be. Embrace the discomfort, embrace the uncertainty, because that's where the magic happens. Remember, you're not stuck unless you choose to be. You have the power to change your life at any moment, so start now. Take that first step toward becoming the person you've always dreamed of being. The only thing standing in your way is your own mind. We live in an age where we're more connected than ever before. We've got smartphones, social media, and instant messaging. We can reach someone across the world in the blink of an eye. But ironically, the more connected we become digitally, the more disconnected we feel emotionally. Think about it. How often do you find yourself scrolling through your phone, liking posts, commenting on pictures, but still feel that emptiness inside? How many times have you been in a room full of people, yet felt completely alone? Technology has undoubtedly transformed our lives in countless ways, and there's no denying the convenience it brings. But somewhere along the way, we've allowed it to replace real, meaningful human interaction. We've traded face-to-face conversations for text messages, the warmth of a hug for the cold glow of a screen. And in doing so, we've lost something vital: the ability to connect on a deeper level. We live in a time where people are constantly sharing their lives online. But how many of those posts are genuine? How many are just curated versions of the truth, carefully designed to fit a narrative that's socially acceptable? We share our accomplishments, our vacations, our successes, but how often do we share our struggles, our fears, our failures? Real connection isn't about what we show the world, it's about the truth we share with each other. But here's the thing: real connection is still possible, even in a world dominated by screens. It starts with being intentional. Instead of scrolling mindlessly through your feed, put the phone down and have a real conversation. Look someone in the eye, ask them how they're really doing, and listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. In our world of constant digital noise, true human connection is more important than ever. We're social creatures, designed for community, for deep relationships, for understanding and being understood. And while technology can help us connect, it can't replace the feeling of being seen, heard, and valued in person. So take a moment to ask yourself, when was the last time you truly connected with someone? Not just exchanging pleasantries, but really connecting, sharing your truth, being vulnerable, listening with empathy. Technology doesn't have to be the enemy of connection. In fact, it can be a tool to strengthen it. We just have to be more intentional with how we use it. Text someone you haven't spoken to in a while and actually pick up the phone to talk. Put your phone on silent when you're with someone you care about and focus on them completely. Because at the end of the day, it's not the number of followers you have, the number of likes you get, or the number of selfies you post that will leave you feeling fulfilled. It's the real, raw, face-to-face connections that make all the difference. So don't let technology rob you of what truly matters: genuine connection. Put down the phone, look up from the screen, and invest in the people around you. In the end, it's those connections that will give your life the meaning you're searching for.